Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It's June 28th, Sunday when I'm recording this. I know it's taken me a couple days over the weekend to get this video out. So yeah, if anybody doing a Sunday night review, this will be just in time for you. Part of the reason was, you guys know I was up in Whistler for the week, finally enjoying that area up in the summer as opposed to the winter. And this is one of our final hikes that we had up there. You can actually see some of the just amazing peaks out behind us, but then everything else is still now lush and green as it's summertime up there. I'm up here. This is my wife Jackie. We're having a good hike, and then her dad Mike was with us up there too. So just a really fun time being up there for the week. And we drove back Friday, and then Saturday I was actually down near my parents' place helping my mom with a garden show that she's doing. And then so we went out on a boat for a little bit because surprisingly the weather worked out. I mean, you can see all these clouds in the background. We thought it was going to be a pretty wet day, but it turned out to be beautiful with all these patches of nice blue sky. So we hopped in the boat, enjoyed that for a little bit, and you can see here we got our nice happy pup. Her name's Ellie. She's definitely a boat dog, enjoys that quite a bit. So yeah, got out there, had a couple of beers when we went to some of the marinas, and then we went to the public dock and walked around, and there was actually turned out to be a festival going on down in Gig Harbor. So really good time. So that was our Saturday, and here's Sunday, finally getting my stuff together, and we're gonna go run through what the market is up to. So this is what we're going to be looking at. Remember, this is for educational purposes only, and hit the like and subscribe button. That way you guys can get more information and more videos and links when I put them out. So let's talk about a couple things. South Korea came down, maybe a little bit of a concentration risk because well, you know, South Korea with the chips or memory stocks and memory chips have been a big deal, big driver of the market. And I think they just got a little too concentrated, a little too much on the long side. I put a video out over the week talking about the put-call ratio specifically for Korea, South Korea, and the memory stocks. And so that might have been part of the reason, just basically too many people on one side of the ship, and that caused everybody to go the other way because, you know, everybody was longed up, and when everybody's long, there's kind of no place else to go. So I think that's kind of what happened there. I'm going to show you guys more about the oil down TLT pairs trade. I actually had somebody on YouTube just comment the other day. He said, hey, I just watched this video that you put out about a month ago about this pairs trade. And he's like, wow, it's actually working amazingly. So there you go. Yeah, the oil down TLT has been working out beautifully. Another note that's been happening is the dollar has kind of been breaking out of a range to an upside, which does put some pressure on the market, on equities, and specifically precious metals. I would say copper, obviously gold, silver, and that has been kind of interesting. Now, gold and silver have already been in a downtrend. They've been pulling back for quite some time, and so the dollar's just, you know, kind of nothing new there, but we'll have to see. I don't really follow the dollar too much. I'm just going to make note of this and say, yep, kind of breaking out of its range, and we'll see where it goes after that. And then there's just been a big rotation. I did over the week make some adjustments to my account, got out a few positions, got into a few positions, and kind of the thing that I've been talking about over the last few weeks about risk on sectors, basically, you know, ARKG and IBB, like LabU, those have really been working out. I wish I had bigger sizes or bigger trades into those. I was a little distracted with other things that had been working out, but then we got this rotation and those didn't work out. And then the things that worked started to work out. And so I just wasn't quite as positioned as I would have wanted to, but my guidance was definitely spot on. And I know that there are quite a few people in the Moxie room who've been taking advantage of that. So let's dive into it. I'm mostly going to be talking about the indices here because I'm showing you guys a variety of what's going on out there so you can kind of see what's happening. And then just kind of touching on a few other specific stocks to show you what that really looks like. But most of this comes down to the larger sectors and how I'm seeing the rotation happening out there. One other thing I'll just mention specifically for the Moxie crew, I've been talking about this for about a week. July tends to be bullish, but specifically leading up to 4th of July tends to be bullish. So I would just be aware, anybody else out there who's looking at this, I know the market has been heavy, but I'm kind of looking at this pullback eventually getting bought up. I don't know if it's going to be like a new trend long, but I think at some point we're probably going to have a pretty healthy move into the 4th of July. So that's what I'm gearing up for. I know Friday still kind of ended on a weak note right through there. But I'm seeing that there is potential, like you're looking at where we went into last week, and you can see here we're coming into prior support even though we have broken below the daily 50. And yeah, I just kind of want to see where this week goes before saying anything too bearish, because this gap down that we had here, I think that's Friday, kind of got bought up, even though we closed on kind of some weakness. But you can see here we're still kind of maintaining this level. So I just want to see if this pullback actually holds. The other thing I'll mention is we still have a gap here between price and the hourly 50, and that we could get a quick move to the upside if it goes that direction. I'll also point out that if this does go up, this might be our level, and we could get some positive divergence on the Moxie indicator here. It's a little too early to say anything because, again, we're still underneath moving averages on the 15. We haven't turned up yet, but I would be a little bit cautious on the downside simply because of seasonality, basically. Okay, then the other thing is if we look at the RSP, again, it's not really looking bad. I mean, we kind of popped up, it came down. There's really nothing bad here. Maybe the market wants to chill out a little bit because we're kind of far away from the daily 50. And you can see here, we've kind of been losing some momentum, but this just doesn't look bad. You look at the difference between the RSP and the S&P, and it's just that this is the S&P 493. This is the rest of the market. I mean, this is the equal weight. It doesn't look that bad. So maybe there will be another rotation where maybe the NASDAQ and the S&P and the MAGS go up, and maybe this comes down a little bit because, again, rotation. But overall, as a general market activity out there, the overall market's not looking too bad. So yeah, it kind of looks good. Now, if we look at the IGV, this is another thing I've been talking about in the Moxie room. I know that the software stocks really got hit hard. Microsoft keeps coming down. A lot of those other names really got hit hard after they had a big move. But it's kind of like the old saying, the bigger they go up, the faster they come down. It's kind of one move here. And these things just were not quite ready to trend up. We still have the daily 50 below the daily 200. And so we were prepared for a pullback. I didn't necessarily know how big the pullback was going to be. But I'll also point out that the market was weak on Friday, but software was strong on Friday. So I would be looking at perhaps buying some software in the coming days or weeks. I'm still looking for confirmation of that, but it is on. It's on my radar as an idea. We can look at IWM. There's kind of no problems here either, right? Look at this. And this is because TLT has been going up. So market interest rates have been going down. This looks fine. Now, there could be dips along the way. This could always pull back a little bit, but for the most part, this looks pretty good. In fact, it has no idea that the MAGS have been coming down. It has no idea that the SPX came down. So IWM looking pretty good. Like I said, don't be surprised if this does pull back. Okay, I am perhaps seeing some divergence here on the 15-minute time frame, and there could be rotation. If we see the MAGS go up and the IWM come down, it could certainly happen, but as a whole, this doesn't look bad at all. I'll also just comment on TLT. I guess I haven't shown it here, but yeah, if I just show you TLT, there's also the possibility that TLT could come down a little bit. It has been moving up, and it is potentially running into resistance, and it would be perfectly reasonable for this to come down a little bit. And so if TLT does come down, that could put some pressure on, say, RSP or the IWM, and maybe this is part of the rotation that we could be getting. We could actually be getting a rotation back into things like the MAGS. Here is the SMH. A little hard to say something about this. Again, it does not look terrible, but it might be needing to take a little bit of a breather, either that or maybe the daily 21's getting hold and we go higher. We had Micron. Micron had blowout earnings. It was amazing, and maybe that kind of reinvigorated stuff. But I will just say that there is the possibility that some of the semiconductor segment or stocks or companies have just been getting too extended, and maybe this is some of the rotation. There could be, I don't want to say weakness, but there could be maybe some profit taking. Maybe people are saying, okay, semiconductors are still doing great, but we're just not ready to push them yet. There is the possibility that semiconductors maybe take a little bit of a breather. Again, hard to say a little bit about this, but if the semiconductors take a breather, I don't think it would be the worst thing. And I just think you need to be not surprised if that happens. And then you just look for other sectors because, well, rotation. There are a lot of other sectors that have started to pop up, even though the semiconductors and the MAGS are down. So speaking of that, let's take a look at the MAGS. Yeah, pretty tough over here, right? Now, on the one hand, I said that there should have been a pullback in through here. We've got our Moxie price trigger and everything to the downside. That made a lot of sense. Pulling back to somewhere around the daily 50 made a lot of sense. And I was starting to look to see if anywhere in here was going to hold the double bottom. It did not. That's totally fine. This was an inverse trampoline move. That means it was a bearish condition. And you can see here, price never held any support and never moved up on the 15-minute time frame. So this double bottom I was looking for just didn't manifest, and so I just kind of continued to wait. However, we might be getting in a situation where we are extremely oversold, and we could actually put in a low here, and we could actually get a rally back to the upside, even as a giant bounce. You could even see price down, maybe Moxie Indicator up as some divergence. And remember, all of this weakness could actually be setting up for a rally into the 4th of July. All right, so that's MAGS and ARC-G. This is genomics, and wow, look at this. Isn't this amazing? This is something I've been talking about for a few weeks. I actually called this back in our Mastering the Trade room and the Moxie room all the way back here, and we had a really nice move on ARC-G. I also called that with LabU/IBB. You can see this. Look at that. Nice. There's the trend line. There's the breakout. Very good move. And again, even though the MAGs are coming down, even though maybe some of the semiconductor stocks are kind of coming down, money is not leaving the market. It is just moving around the market and trying to find different homes. And you can see here, nice big move in the, I'll call it biotech, pharma, genomics, whatever category you want to call this. You know, this has been doing pretty well. So yeah, let's kind of move over to breadth. I'll show you this. And once again, just doesn't look too bad. And here's the 20-day. You know, it's kind of been up and down a little bit, but nothing terrible. Here's the 50-day. Also, not looking bad at all. Yeah. So underneath the surface, everything seems to be doing fine. You just have to be in the right sector and the right stuff. Because yeah, there have been rotations. There have been things that are not working well. Power generation, like Irene, Wolf, CLSK, Cypher, some of those came down. Bitcoin, crypto, you know, those have been falling off a cliff. So yeah, there have been some areas not great, but for the most part, there are still opportunities and still plenty of places to find bullishness in this market. The VIX did move up, but you know, that's because the market kind of came down a little bit. If the market wanted to go back up at some point, the VIX being up here, back around, call it 18, 19, actually gives some altitude. So the VIX could actually come back down to 15, 14, 13, and that actually buy some room for the VIX to come down and the market to go up. So this could actually be a nice refresh if the market does go up. If somehow the market decides to continue going lower, well, this could be set up and it could go higher if it decides to hold these moving averages like the hourly 50 or the daily 50. I'm a little less inclined to think that's going to happen, so let's kind of see, but we definitely need to watch it and prove that the upside for VIX and downside for SPX is not going to happen. If we look at the UVIX, again, not too much to work with. It's been a couple moves, couple bounces. If the market decides to go lower, then yes, the UVIX will hold the hourly 50 and we'll see if this is kind of some level and we move up. So yes, if this goes higher, market goes lower, it is potentially set up, but I'm kind of leaning towards some bullishness over the next couple of weeks, but we will see. All right, let's take a look at the dollar. Let's see, DXY, not DXYZ. Sorry, that's another stock that I've been watching. If we look in through here, you can see that the dollar has basically been in this range for a very long time. And look, we are breaking out. Is that a forever thing? I don't know. Is this a new trend to the upside? I don't entirely know. I don't watch the dollar too closely. And, you know, or is this just a bounce and we're going to roll over again? Again, I don't really know. I'm just trying to show you guys what's happening here and why it's probably putting some pressure, number one, on the market, number two, gold, silver, all that kind of stuff. So let's go take a look at gold. Silver is more or less the same thing, but you can see ever since here and here that price is getting rejected by the daily 50. And the last time I spoke about gold, I even spoke on some podcast. I was talking about this. We looked at gold and silver and said, yep, there should probably be a bounce simply because this got oversold at the moment. But I said there's nothing here that says that this bounce is the start of a new trend to the upside yet. I said all we know is that this is a bounce. We do not know if this is a trend long. We do not know if this is a change of trend to the long side. And we don't quite yet know if this is just a bounce in a downtrend. For now, this was just a bounce in a downtrend, but we will continue to see if this starts to do anything to the upside or whatever. But for now, yeah, you can see it's just been weak. Of course, anything can kind of change, but gold, silver has been weak over, well, several months at this point. All right. USO and versus Jets Airlines. Also a really, really great move to the downside that I've been discussing for a few weeks. I even made a video out there about this pairs trade. You can see right there, Moxie price trigger. You can see right there, rejection of the hourly 50. It's been working out really, really well. The only thing I'm going to point out is this is getting a little bit stretched to the downside. It's been a good move. We know nothing lasts forever and nothing goes in a straight line. Don't be surprised if oil goes up or bounces or bear flags or does something like that. This is getting kind of excessive. And if we actually look at something like Jets, it has been on a tear. So this is exactly what I've called. We did take a trade in Southwest, LUV. I was talking about Delta Airlines as well. Basically right there was the pullback that I was talking about, and we had a nice big move. And at this point, airlines are also getting excessive to the upside. So given that they're a pairs trade, I'm noticing that oil is getting a little excessive to the downside. Airlines are getting a little excessive to the upside. There probably will be a pullback developing, or at least a consolidation. So I would be careful about chasing either of these in the direction that they're going right now, and be prepared for some sort of pullback in each name. Okay, then SpaceX, I've been kind of watching this and giving some guidance on this in the Moxie room. I was pretty accurate about this one here where price got extended to the upside and started to come back down. At this point, here's basically the IPO price, and you can see that we're holding that level. Does this look like a bear flag? It kind of does look like a bear flag, and that it could go lower, but I just don't know if I want to really hammer that home yet, because this could be defended for a while. And if we actually got a bounce, it wouldn't surprise me, because if this actually held and we got a bounce up, that could happen too. So I'm going to leave this kind of open-ended. I don't know if price is going to bear flag into the hourly 50 and actually go lower, or if this is starting to get stretched to the downside and kind of pop a little bit. So I'm going to leave this one open-ended. The reason I'm mentioning this is because if we actually look at some of the space stocks, I'm kind of wondering if these things are now actually getting extremely extended to the downside, oversold, and there might actually be some upside opportunity here, kind of like software. Software got pummeled and it's starting to see some strength. Well, maybe the space stocks, they got pummeled. Maybe they could start seeing some strength. This was definitely the rally into the SpaceX IPO. And then ever since that happened and the IPO came out, the space stocks have just been getting demolished and through here right back to where they came from. But maybe that's going to be an opportunity for us. So I've been watching cautiously, haven't done anything with them yet, but I think that they are getting to a point where I do want to see if we can start taking some sort of long trade on them. There's RDW. You could look at Rocket Lab, same kind of deal, like, nice round trip. They went up, came right back down and into potential support, also into some extensions, and maybe we're even seeing some positive divergence on the hourly time frame. So I'm starting to watch them for the week. And then BKSY, this is another one that we've been trading. We had some good trades. We took some profits. And then we're basically, there was my entry right there. We are just a little bit under from my original entry on this, but we did take profits along the way. And at this point, as I said, we're coming back into major price levels. It should act as support. We're also getting very extended to the downside, and I'm starting to see some potential divergence on the hourly chart. So I do want to see if there is some value buying coming into some of the SPX stocks. Could be interesting. All right, guys. So remember to take a look at all that kind of stuff. Here is where to check out more information, simplertrading.com/Moxie. And to note, what's coming up this week is the 4th of July sale. So I'm going to post this a little bit earlier and say that we do have some sales coming up. So if you guys are ever considering to come into the room, or you want to look at some of the zero DTE trading and education that I have, we've got some sales and we'll start posting about it more so you can see what to choose from. All right, guys. Well, thanks again, and I will see you at the next one. Take care.